Hey you guys, welcome. And this is Gardening at the Root 101. If this is your first time here, welcome. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so when I do go live, you will be the first one to get a notification. So today I just wanted to sit down, have a conversation while I was in my garden and growing my fruits and vegetables. So, as you know, there are so many things that are happening in this world right now as we speak, and I think it's definitely time for everybody to just sit down and take a mental break and just a mental note of what is actually occurring right now. What are some things that's going on right now? And I think if you have been putting off gardening or learning how to can or learning how to have a greenhouse, I think now is the time for you to just pick it back up and to do what you have to do. No more excuses, no more going to so many YouTubers channel and saying why is this, if this is not and all of that things. If it's somebody that's in your life that doesn't want you to garden or think it's a made up thing, those are the people you don't want to be around, because you want to make sure that you're staying on top of things. You want to make sure that you are buying extra things if you need those things. You want to make sure that you're stocking up. So now is the time going to the store and actually seeing these things dwindle down in the store should definitely be an eye opener for you, so that you can start gardening or even possibly canning. If you've never thought about canning, I think this is a good time to start canning. Canning is when you preserve food. So I do have a beginner's video, and I will be making several more videos as well. But I just wanted to come at you guys and have this conversation while I was out here in my garden. That is definitely now is the time that if you ever had thought about canning or gardening, I think you need to really think about this. I think you definitely need to not worry about other people and just worry about your family. That is easier said than done, because there are a lot of resources, a lot of channels out here that is explaining the whole detail. And if you actually run into a channel that is really explaining what you need to get and what are some things you need to do, you definitely want to take heed to that. You don't want to just keep flipping by those channels and never do anything. Even if something doesn't ever happen, you rather be safe than sorry, or you rather be safe than having to run around in a circle and you don't have a plan. I just think everybody right now needs to be able to write things down. Writing things down becomes more visual to you. Writing these things down starts to make more sense. If you write these things down, you're able to execute it a lot more. The more you watch different videos. That's showing you how to can. Watch more videos telling you how to save things and how to properly prepare them. So it's not just going to the store buying a bunch of rice and beans and all of these great items to help in the long run. It's about learning how to preserve these things. It's learning how to store these things. Those are things you definitely need to learn. And I definitely will do another video of all the things that I'm doing to stockpile and to make sure that my family is taken care of. Of course, you definitely need a second plan. Oftentimes we only have one plan, which is if that's staying in your residence. If you live in an apartment or a house, you definitely want to make sure you have a second plan, because you never know if things could happen. You need to make sure you know how to be able to leave from your house and go to a particular spot, whether that's camping out in a camping area or having a piece of land that you designate with your family where you guys will meet up. Definitely it's hard, but if you live in a state where it's a lot of trees and different things like that, you definitely want to ride and take a look at different places that you see vacant trees and bushes and different things like that that you might can have as a meetup plan. Everybody, including my family, has a meetup spot where we all said that if things were to happen, we all had a certain meetup spot and we all would meet up Okay, try not to have a spot where it's at a particular family member's house where they're not on the same page as you, where they don't have the same mentality as you, where you go into their house and they like, oh, you just making up stuff. You need to be able to be surrounded with family and friends who understand what you're doing and agree with what you're doing. You can't force anybody to believe what you believe. You can't force anybody to get extra food or, to get a greenhouse or start to garden. You definitely can't force anybody. If they choose not to hear you or listen to you, sometimes you have to be able to just let them be. And at a certain point they will have to either see or they won't see, but right now it's definitely time for you to buckle down and focus on your family and focus on your outlet or whatever. You definitely need a go-to bag, and I'll do a video about what's in my go-to bag as well. So everybody in your family definitely needs a go-to bag. It can be a book bag, it can be a duffel bag, it can be any kind of bag, and you want to make sure you have an extra change of clothes. If you can fit multiple changes of clothes in there, you definitely want to make sure you have multiple change of clothes. You want to have toothpaste and tape or band-aids, anything that can if you happen to scrape yourself or hurt yourself, you want to make sure you have that. And of course, if you can carry a different duffel bag, you want to make sure you have canned food and a can opener, not an electric one, but a hand can opener, and water. Because these are the things that if you have to leave your residency, you want to make sure that you have at least enough to sustain you and your family and however long you need to be gone. And if you choose to stay in your house, which is also a great idea, you need to make sure that you know the ins and outs of your house. You need to know where it's a safe spot that if something were to happen, everybody would run or stay in a particular spot. You need to always have extra wood, that's in case you might have to board up the windows, or extra security, and different types of things. These are the things you need to just start to think about. Whether these things happen or not, you need to really start to think about it. You need to start to internalizing it. You need to absorb it. If you just haven't start to garden because you feel like you don't have any time, now is the time to do it. Whether you live in a apartment or a townhouse or you have your own backyard, now is the time. You can start little and start to grow a lot. Just remember, when you're growing any particular fruit, try to produce a large amounts, because if you produce large amounts, say for instance something doesn't grow to your liking, you still have other plants. So in particular, I grow cabbages right now, so I have a mass amount of cabbage. I have over 20 cabbages, so just in case some of those cabbages don't get big like I want them to, or don't even germinate like they should, I still have a lot more that I can pick through. So these are some of the things you just need to take a highlight from, and just take heed to what's going on. It's just stop making excuses. You've made excuses for so long that you're gonna do it, but now it's the time to stop making excuses and just do it. I definitely know it's harder said than done, but now it's the time. Stop procrastinating, because the more you procrastinate, the more time is actually ticking by, and the less time you have to be able to really get some things together. So hopefully this video was able to share a little bit of light unto you. If you have any suggestions, you are more than welcome, as long as you put it down in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell. Again, I'll be back with another video, and we'll talk about what are some things you want to pack inside of your bag. We call it a carry away bag. And we'll also do another video too, as far as, so I can help you guys to the things that you can actually get in the perilous times, if you need to get these before things are being taken away off the shelf, because I definitely went to Walmart and a couple of stores, and as you can start really seeing that there's a lot of things that are disappearing that you usually see. They don't know when it'll be coming in. I went to a local store and their freezer was like really nothing was in there. So I think it's definitely now it's time to start gardening and do what you have to do. So I hope this video was very informative to you. Again, make sure you hit the subscribe and the notification bell. I will see y'all later. Okay.